Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Christina. I'm an intuitive reader and we're back for another intuitive reading for Joseph. So thank you for your patience, Joseph. I have your reading here and I hope you enjoy it. Sit back, relax, breathe, take what resonates, leave what doesn't. I'm sure something specific for you will pop up here. We're going to use the Osho Zen Tarot today. I really like this deck because it has a more grounded feel to it, and that could be because I've used it for the past decade. But it's just so good. So we're using this one today. And yeah, your card, Joseph, is out of this big old frickin' deck. Oh, I want to go on the ends. I want to go on the ends. Ooh, it's so big. Okay, I'm gonna go that one. Okay. It's funny because there's so many cards here. There's like probably 60 cards or something. And I feel like I circle through like the same cards. So we'll see if this one is a new one for me. Like I've seen all the cards obviously, but like I feel like I just circle through like the same 10 or something. But oh, this is one of my favorites. Okay. Because this is the deck. Like this is Osho. This is the master. This is, to me, the words coming up is alignment and obviously self-mastery. This is about self-mastery. This is what my whole channel is about. This is the process I've walked for the past 10 plus years. This is 10 plus years. This is what everyone that I know within, you know, the communities that I'm a part of online, this is all what we're working towards and practicing is this point of self-mastery, becoming masters of ourselves, of our living expression, and so our creation. So I love this because this is like that point of having complete dominion over yourself, becoming actually the master, the king of who you are and your kingdom. That is your body first and foremost, but then is your reality as an extension of who you are. So this is that point of first standing equal to the master if you haven't yet, realizing you are the master, you are the master of yourself, you're the master of your mind, your body, not as like a dictative, like, you know, enforcing or projecting your idea onto something, but the master in terms of you are in complete control. You are calling the shots. You are making the rules. You are deciding how your life is, what your experience is, what your body's experience is. Like you are calling all the shots. That's what it means to be a master. It is to realize that you hold all the cards. You are in complete control. And so are you taking responsibility for the fact that you are in complete control, or are you abdicating your responsibility still to something external to you? So first it's that point of standing equal to becoming the master, becoming self-mastered. I am the master, I am the king, I am the point of authority that is my body, my thought, my word, my deed, my action, my living expression, my reality. I am the origin, I am the source, I am the cause. It is all coming from me. And so I master that to ensure that where I'm coming from is pure. And it's innocent, and it's free, and it's without fear, and it's without blame, and it's without judgment, and it's without condemnation, and it's coming from a point of innocence and purity. It's just coming from that point of like innocence, you know? And so that's the first point. And then the second point is being in alignment with yourself as the master, and so then directing yourself to create as a master would create. How do you interact with people as a master, as a self-mastered being? How do you interact with the world? That's a great question, because here this puts into question how we engage with our world. Ultimately, it comes from how we engage with ourselves. But it's a good reflection point to see, okay, who am I in relation to the world? Because that indicates my relationship to myself. Am I understanding? Am I forgiving? Am I cooperative? Am I supportive? Am I encouraging? Am I uplifting? Or am I blaming? Am I judging? Am I scolding? Am I saying that this is bad and this is wrong? Because what would a master do? Who would a master be? How would a master carry himself in this world? How would, I'm saying he, you're a he, it could be a woman too, but you know, how does the master direct themselves in every given moment? So that is a great question and a guiding light to utilize as a point of cross-reference for yourself. Am I living in this moment? Am I expressing in this moment myself as a master? Which is really just a being that becomes best for all, because they're step fully into the awareness of who they are, that we're all one, we're all equal, we're all the same thing, and we're all valuable, and life is precious, and life is beautiful, and life is a fucking gift. And if that's not where we're coming from, then we have some work to do, and that's okay. We have all the time in the world. That's also an awareness of a master, knowing that there's no rush here. The point is to slow down. The point is to step back. The point is to become more reflective. Stop focusing so much on the world. Pull it back. Bring it back. Who am I? Who is Joseph? Who is inside of me? Is it a master? So that's the point I see with this. This is a great card, and I am so grateful that you were open to this reading, Joseph, because you've opened this point now for me and for everyone else, for us to start reflecting and looking at this stuff. This is how these readings become such a gift for me and everybody else that sees this, because you as an individual asking for a reading initiate this moment of me recording and pulling a card and the points that come up, and it's like these questions to ask ourselves as cross-references. Am I living a self-mastered life? Am I mastering myself? Like, that is such a cool technique and way to start looking at ourselves and our lives, and you open this up. So that's amazing, Joseph. That is amazing. So let's read the book definition to see what it has to say. Okay, so the book definition says, the master in Zen is not a master over others, but a master of himself. His every gesture and his every word reflects his enlightened state. He has no private goals, no desire that anything should be other than the way it is. His disciples gather around him not to follow him, but to soak up his presence and be inspired by his example. In his eyes they find their own truth reflected, and in his silence they fall more easily into the silence of their own beings. The master welcomes the disciples not because he wants to lead them, but because he has so much to share. Together they create an energy field that supports each unique individual in finding his or her own light. If you can find such a master, you are blessed. If you cannot, keep on searching. Learn from the teachers and the would-be masters and move on. Charavedi, said Gautam Buddha. Keep on moving. I will add here too, become your own master, and you don't need to find a master. Beyond mind, there is an awareness that is intrinsic, that is not given to you by the outside, and it is not an idea. And there is no experiment up to now that has found any center in the brain which corresponds to awareness. The whole work of meditation is to make you aware of all that is mind and disidentify yourself from it. That very separation is the greatest revolution that can happen to man. Now you can do and act on only that which makes you more joyous, fulfills you, gives you contentment, makes your life a work of art, of beauty. But this is possible only if the master in you is awake. Right now the master is fast asleep, and in the mind the servant is playing the role of master, and the servant is not even your servant. The servant is created by the outside world. It follows the outside world and its laws. Once your awareness becomes a flame, it burns up the whole slavery that the mind has created. There is no blissfulness more precious than freedom, than being a master of your own destiny. Oh, amen to that. I will say another point to consider as a point of reference for yourself. The body is the master, the mind is the servant, and what's happened with humanity, as we know, the mind has become the master and the body is the slave. And so a point to consider here is, in your mind, first of all, realize it's a tool, it's a part of you, there's nothing wrong with it, you just have to put it in its proper place. And by doing so, and to do that, it's about becoming aware of your thinking. Anything that is of fear, anything that is of blame, anything that is of judgment, anything that is of a negative, heavy, discordance thought, is the mind being the master, because the mind exists in limitation. The mind exists in separation. The master exists in awareness, which is we are eternal, infinite beings, and we are all one, and this is a form in which we're currently living out, and it's just really a moment in time. And so it's to put the servant, which is the mind, in its proper place, and not allowing those thoughts of limitation, of separation, of conflict direct you. So when you see those, dismiss them, disregard them, realize that's not real, that's not really who I am, and instead give yourself different things to think. I am actually whole. I am awareness. I am here. I am love. I am joy. I am, use affirmations to reinsert a program within you that is of wholeness and completeness and cooperation and joy, and is not in conflict with yourself and everything else, because you're all the same thing. So it's just that, just the final perspective I wanted to share. The way you know that you're living self-mastery is that your thoughts are not feeding you ideas about yourself that exist in separation or fear. And rather, you're living from a place of wholeness within yourself, of love, of joy, excitement, play, like children, free to explore yourself and this world. So, wonderful reading. Thank you, Joseph, so much for being open to me reading you. Definitely share some perspective if anything came up while you were watching this. And if you have questions or want further clarifications, please reach out. I'm definitely here. I hope this resonates. Thanks again, and take care.